New comic book day is upon us, so let's see what's on the pull list. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and this is the pull list, the show each week that I do where I'll take a look at all the books coming out. I'll tell you which ones I'm most excited for. We'll talk about some new series that are debuting this week and even some new trade paperbacks hitting the market for this week in comics, Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. It's a pretty heavy week, honestly. I got 13 books on the pull list, if that tells you, if that's any indication of just how things are going. So let's go ahead and get started with the books at the top of the pile. The top of the pile, these are the books that I am most excited for, given my enjoyment of the previous issue of the series. And at the very top of the pile this week for me is Speed Racer, issue number 5. David Pepose, David Tinto. This book has been awesome. It has been firing on all cylinders, all puns intended. This book is at least as fun as a Fast and Furious film. And I love it because I don't have to suspend disbelief so much. Like, this is based on a cartoon. So if the car ends up in space, it's all good. I'm not like, this is crazy. Anyway, Speed Racer is following in his late brother's footsteps, and he's becoming a Formula X driver so that he can help his father out. His father's got some medical bills, and he's got to step in to make sure that Pops, is on the mend after, some tragic events earlier in the series. Well, in the last couple of issues, Racer X and Speed Racer have sort of teamed up because there is let's call it a cartel that is out to get Speed and keep him from becoming the greatest Formula X driver to ever be a Formula X driver. So the stakes are really high. And now that we've got this like demolition derby, these death races going on, the stakes just feel that much higher. And it's really, really fun. It's really fast paced. It's really exciting, but you still get all the feels that you would in a normal, Fast and Furious movie. No, in like just emotional comics that David Pepose does really well. The last issue ended on a cliffhanger, so I don't want to spoil too much, but I mean, like any good cartoon, it's like, hey, will Speed Racer make it? Find out next episode or next issue. Speed Racer number 5 is awesome. Cover price on this one is $4.99. Next up, Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 41. Miles Morales Spider-Man by Cody Ziegler. This may be the penultimate issue of the series. All indications are that it's ending at issue 42. I've not seen an official announcement, but there's nothing solicited past then. And if I'm honest, kind of looking back over the last 8 or so issues, this book has felt like a return to form, a return to all the things that I loved about it early in the run, nearly 4 years ago when it started, and including the antagonist. We got the return of Rabble in the last couple of issues, and we apparently are going to see Miles and Rabble team up against a greater threat that I'm honestly really curious about. I've not read all of the Solid and Ahmed run, but apparently the villain that just reared his head again is somehow an incarnation of the dude responsible for the Clone War that Miles went through. So not only has this got me like excited because I'm like, dang, I remember why I liked this series so much 2 years ago. It's also got me like, maybe I need to read even more of Miles' history. Thankfully, I got the omnibus right there on the shelf. So I got some homework to do, but Miles Morales 41 out this week. I hope it's not the end, but it feels like the end. Cover price on it is $3.99. Next up is Rook Exodus, issue number 9. Rook Exodus, Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok. This, quite honestly, might be the best looking book on store shelves. Like, the first chapter of Rook Exodus looked amazing. And, it's about this guy, a series of people on a dying planet who can control animals or, commune with animals with these helmets that they have. And so you have, I don't know, our homie Rook he's got the crow helmet. And so he can interface with all these crows, these birds. Our friend Direwolf can interface with all these wolves. Her dad apparently can interface with a bunch of spiders. And that is just a really cool thing to see on a page. I tell you, again, the art in this book is amazing. The story is great and compelling too, but the art in this book is amazing. So Rook Exodus number 9 is also at the top of the pile. Cover price on it is $3.99. And the last book at the top of the pile this week is Batman issue number 4. Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez. Jorge Jimenez, he's on like his 3rd Batman run. We had him on the James Tynion run. We had him on the Chip Zdarsky run, and now he's on this Matt Fraction run. And somehow his art is slightly different each time. I really like the grittiness that we got in the last issue of Batman. But the cops, the police force, are not happy with Batman, and basically Vandal Savage, who is the police commissioner at the moment, is trying to frame Batman as a cop killer. And so the stakes are high. Once again, this feels like a dark and gritty Batman book, like Batman books should feel. But we're also getting really, really cool moments. Batman's got this really awesome suit. He's, took down the Riddler in the last issue, although the riddles were kind of weak. But I really enjoyed it. So Batman issue 4. Apparently we're going to see a new villain debut in this issue. Cover price on it is $4.99. And that's it. Those are all the books at the top of the pile. They're waiting for me behind the desk at Fight or Flight Comics, the greatest comic shop in the land. If you find yourself in the Raleigh area this week, you should definitely stop by because they're still doing their Black Friday sale. Their Black Friday sale is a little bit longer than a week long. And right now the dollar books are all out, and you could fill a short box for $100 full of dollar comics if you would like. It's an awesome deal and great people. So go visit Fight or Flight Comics. But now let's talk about some books that are on the radar. On the Radar is a segment where I like to highlight new number ones, new series debuts, new story arcs or jumping in points for newer readers, or someone is looking for something new to pick up. I've said the word new way too many times. So let's get this started with Ultimate Universe 2 years in, issue number 1. This is a one-shot. I guess you could consider this a jumping on point. At the very least, a catching up point, much like the 1 year in special was. It's not necessarily a recap as much as it is a launching pad for the events to come. And well, what's coming after this is the return of the Maker, the moment we've all been building up toward. So I expect to see sort of what the final Ultimate Avengers team is going to look like going into that story arc. I'm expecting to kind of get just a little bit more information because, again, I'm not caught up on the Ultimates right now. I don't think I'm caught up on anything Ultimate Universe except the Ultimate Universe Incursion event, which, I don't know, kind of feels like a nothing burger until Armageddon comes, but that's a whole different conversation. Ultimate Universe 2 years in, issue 1, the only issue. Cover price on it's $5.99. And next up, an event tie-in. This is DC KO, Superman versus Captain Atom, issue number 1. So reading DC KO number 1 and then reading DC KO number 2, it's a round of 32 and it quickly gets cut to a round of 16. And the first thing that pops into my mind is, dang, I kind of want to see all those matchups. And then I realized, dang, they got me. They absolutely got me. They didn't really get me because I didn't buy all the matchups, but this month is like the fighting month. So we're getting all these one shots basically one shots or done in one issues where we're seeing the fights across the DC universe. And I kind of want to see them. I'm hoping they get collected in a nice omnibus or something because I do not need to spend $4.99 on every little fight tie-in, but maybe some that sound interesting. Can't lie, Superman and Captain Atom does sound like an interesting fight. Cover price on it is $4.99. Next up, Doctor Strange, issue number 1. Now, Doctor Strange getting a new series kind of slipped past my radar. I guess it makes sense. After One World Under Doom, Doctor Strange is the one that kind of gave up the Sorcerer Supreme. And, well, dang. That is quite the spoiler in the solicit text for this issue. So I'm not going to read it to you. Just know Doctor Strange is in an interesting place. And it ain't the regular Marvel world, the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm not crazy big on Marvel magic, so sorry if my terminology is wrong. But Doctor Strange number 1, who's writing it? That's what I meant to look up before the solicit just completely distracted me. Derek Landy, who I'm not familiar with, and Ivan Fiorelli, who I am familiar with. That's the creative team. Cover price on that is $4.99. And the last number 1 new series debut I'm gonna showcase today is Hulk Smash Everything, issue number 1. Hulk Smash Everything, written by Ryan North. It's got art by Vincenzo Caratu, with colors by Federico Blee. This is just a fun series. It sounds something right up Ryan North's alley. If you enjoy his Fantastic Four, if you enjoyed, I think that was all I was going to say. Did he do Squirrel Girl? Maybe that's what I'm trying to pull out of my head. But anyway, if you enjoyed any or all of those things, you'll probably enjoy this. It's Hulk going up against all sorts of stuff, including Godzilla or dinosaurs, and cosmic forces and planets and all the things. That just sounds like a fun Hulk book, in case Inferno and the Thunderclap wasn't up your alley last week. And I'll give a quick honorable mention to Giant Size Criminal, issue number 1. I saw the little thumbnail or the cover for this and assumed it was a reprint of old Criminal stories. Turns out it's the first new Criminal single issue in over 5 years on the eve of the TV streaming series premiere. An oversized annual style issue. Blah, 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 blah. Perfect entry point for new readers, just in time for Christmas. Great stocking stuffer. Exclusively in print, only at comic shops for $5.99. That's it. Those are all the books on the radar this week. And if I'm going to add any of them to my list, then I got to check the budget, because I already told you guys, it's kind of a stacked week. I'm buying 13 books this week. That's what I'm on the hook for at Fight or Flight Comics. So those books are going to cost me out the door $58.89. Now, I technically am $9 over my $50 a week budget. I should probably go find $9 somewhere, because these books are interesting. Let's talk about the other books in the box. Again, the rest of the books in my subscription box at Fight or Flight Comics start with DCKO Night Fight, issue number 2. I had no idea this was going to be a Battle for the Cowl type series. Very interesting. Batman was kind of disposed of in the first issue of DCKO. But of course, Batman and his contingency plans, he'll just land right back where he started. Except it's not right back where he started. He lands in a weird timeline where someone else's Batman and all of the Robins that you know and love are dead. How'd they get deaded? We'll call it that. You got to read it to find out. But first, there's an angry fight between Batman and one of his successors. So, interesting stuff. I really like the first issue. Dan Mora on art, Josh Williamson writing it. That's really all the reason you need to pick it up. Cover price on it is $3.99. Next up is DuckTales number 9. I promise I'm going to get caught up on DuckTales one of these days. This past weekend, it was Miles Morales. I just binged a whole bunch of Miles Morales and got caught up. DuckTales, it might be next up. I want to get caught up on some of this X-Men stuff and then DuckTales. But it's coming, because I'm still prepping these end of year videos. Cover price on issue 9, though, is $4.99. Next up is Fantastic Four issue number 6, another book I need to get caught up on. Shout out to you, Ryan North. Cover price is $3.99. This issue, by the way, is the start of a new story arc called The Invincible Woman. Regards to Robert Kirkman. It's late. I'm making dad jokes. Godzilla. Issue number 5 is out this week from IDW. I'm an issue behind. That's why it's not at the top of the pile, but I've been loving this series so far. Cover price on that's $4.99. JSA, Justice Society of America, issue number 14, written by Jeff Lemire with art by friend of the channel, Gavin Guidry. Now, I did read issue 13, which was the beginning of the JSA Year 1 storyline. And I gotta be honest with you, I knew nothing about the JSA going into it. And quite honestly, I still know nothing about the JSA. I learned quite a few people's names, and that about it. As who said that? That about it. Oh, that was on the band. Bad Boy this, Bad Boy. Dang. Can we not shout out Bad Boy songs? Probably not on the day the Anyway, JSA, issue 14. I will say the art on it, which is why I bought it to begin with, is amazing. That last page with Alan Scott, like, I kind of want that original art, even though I have no affinity to Alan Scott. That's just how good the art is. So it's keeping me, and I'm going to assume that I will learn everything I need to know about these characters over the course of this 6-issue story arc. Cover price on this one is $3.99. Next up is Ultimate X-Men. I wrote down issue number 3, which can't be right. I think we're on issue 23 of 24, the penultimate issue. That's kind of sad, but I guess exciting. We'll see how the Endgame series goes and see what kind of bow it wraps all these concepts in. Cover price on Ultimate X-Men 23 is $5.99. And the last book in the box for me this week is The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 126 for $3.99. I should stop buying that. There's no way I'm stopping buying that. Sunk costs and whatnot. But it's time for the final segment of the show, one that I like to call Trade Waiting. And I like to highlight new trade paperbacks that are hitting the book market for the week. And usually I like to highlight books that are kind of like a great jumping in point or a great standalone read. So it's interesting that I will start this off with Deadpool by Cody Ziegler, Volume 3, Revenge of Wade Wilson. Quite honestly, if you read Volume 1 and Volume 2, you probably don't need me to tell you that Volume 3 is worth reading or that it's coming out. You're probably already subscribed to it. But in case you're not, something interesting happened to Deadpool way early in the series, and the title of this trade paperback is Revenge of Wade Wilson. Who's he getting revenge on? I don't know. Not Miles Morales. Why is he getting revenge? I know, but you don't know, allegedly. So just grab this trade. Cover price is $15.99. Next up, speaking of Deadpool, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe One Last Time. It's written by Cullen Bunn, and it's finally out for the last time, allegedly. Cover price on that is $17.99. Leaving Wade Wilson behind, we'll jump to another mercenary, immortal dude, and that is Berserker. The Berserker Bloodlines hardcover is out this week for $39.99. There were a bunch of Berserker one-shots that came out in recent months, and I didn't realize they were all being compiled. But there's some interesting names on that, if I remember correctly. One of them was Jason Aaron. Now I'm going to be like, did I remember that? I'm not looking it up. It's too late at night to be doing all this stuff. But Berserker Bloodlines, if you liked any of those one-shots, or if you're curious, if you like the original Berserker, want something just to keep staying in that world of this dude named B, then check it out. Cover price on that, like I said, is $39.99. I don't know if it's oversized or not. Trim size isn't listed up here. And honestly, it's kind of a light week for new collected editions, but don't worry. I got 2 books I wanted to show you real quick from my friends at Fantagraphics, both with release dates of Wednesday, December 3rd. So first we got Winnie the Pooh, the 100 Acre Wood Collection, Volume 1. Now, Winnie the Pooh, this actually collects the Winnie the Pooh movie adaptation from like the original like 1970s Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, or The New Adventure. What is that movie called? The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I was right. I always try to remember. Many Adventures is the movie. The New Adventures is the animated series, both of which are amazing. But this is a great archival project edited by my man David Gerstein. And this not only collects the movie adaptation, OGN, or graphic novel adaptation of The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, but it also collects a ton of short featurettes, short comic featurettes from all sorts of collections over the years, from as old as like the 1980s and as recently as like 2005. So really cool stuff there in that hardcover for just $29.99. And if you prefer more of the original graphic novel route as opposed to collections of archived works, then check this one out. This is Walt Disney Presents This Looks Like a Job for Duck Avenger by Luke Collin and Nicholas Pothier. This is translated in English for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, but Uncle Scrooge needs some money to top what is basically the Forbes list in Duckburg. And to do that, he needs a donation because he can't do any official activity to raise money. So he asks his nephew, Donald, hey, like I need $500. And Donald, of course, doesn't have it. So Scrooge is like, all right, get it, or you're not going to have a home. And Donald's like, oh no, if he takes my home, he's going to realize that I'm the Duck Avenger. So Duck Avenger goes on the prowl trying to find this $100. And bro, just these Disney comics, I got a separate video coming about the Disney comics, but the art in them is just so amazing. So this is a good read as well. As you can see, it's oversized. This is like close to the size of a standard comic, and this is bigger than that. And this is only $19.99. So check out these cool books from Fantagraphics on a light, superhero comics week. It's dope. And that's going to do it for all of the books on the trade waiting pile. That's it for trade waiting. That's all the books for this video. I'm terrible at sign-offs when it's late at night and I'm recording. But with all that said, make sure you make your way out to Fight or Flight Comics for that back issue dollar extravaganza. Fill a box for $100. That's a good deal. Other than that, anything else I want to shout out? Not that I can think of. So stay tuned. Kix's favorite things going on all December long. And you might see a couple more of these Disney books in one of those featurettes. So with all that said, I'll see you in another video soon. Until then, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.